Doors are tightly sealed.
And we're gonna break them down. Hi. Lajib and Ragdoll. How is do? Is do good? I hope is do good. Sorry, I'm readjusting things. Just as an aside, for some reason, my music software has decided to take its best guess as to a picture, like album art, of my music, and so it's just picking up random pictures of people who have my name. I don't know why. They're making me laugh. Anyway, swoosh. So, for instance, this person, I don't know who that is. They just automatically appeared one day. The stream started at the same time as the storm. I am the coming storm. What's the phrase? What's the Doctor Who thing? Anyway, and also this guy. I don't know. Oncoming, that's the one. Oncoming storm. Oncoming? Now that I said that out loud, I'm not sure. Anyway. It's oncoming. That's annoying me now. I have to do a Doctor Who draw-through. Right. Hi. How are we all doing? We having a good day? We having a better day than Vivi? I sincerely hope so. Vivi's not having a good day at all. Actually, to be fair, we have slept in that time, so presuming, well, in that case, Vivi's had multiple bad days in a row. Bad day number one gets finds out they have a counterfeit ticket and gets chased out of a theater. Bad day number two crashes in an airship and gets attacked by plants. Day three gets kidnapped and discovers an assembly line of their own people. Yeah, it's Vivi's not good, very bad, awful week, exactly. We're extending it to a week. Probably more. Anyway, last time, having entered the ice caverns, or whatever they're called, Vivi used his fantastic ability to cast fire on everything, and melted a Moogle, which is nice, who just flash froze inexplicably. And as they're walking through, all of a sudden everybody falls asleep, as does Simeon, but he wakes up again, and here's a little ding 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 in the distance. It's like, what's that ding ding ding? That's an empty layer. Lovely. Good to see. Or good not to see, I suppose. He then discovers that the dinging was coming from someone we called Cuthbert, who they call themselves, do they call themselves? Well, there they are called the Black Waltz number 1. Either by themselves or the mysterious voice that appears after they get killed. And they're the ones who've been filling this place with ice and making people fall asleep, and it's their job to try and get the princess. But Simeon's like, nope, that's not happening. You leave Butter Sponge alone. Hey, Kiro, how you doing? And it summons a big ol' sea lion to fight you. However, Simeon beats them both, and everybody wakes up, and Simeon's like, no, nothing happened, it's fine. We then emerge, and Princess Zarilla decides that she needs a pseudonym, an alias, identity to hide under, while she's trying not to appear as the princess in public. And she goes with Butterknife, because obviously. Sorry, Princess Butterknife. First name Princess, last name Butterknife. You're dying, but you'll be fine. No! Don't do that. I disagree. Sorry, I forgot. Very disrespectful. She's not a princess, obviously, but she is called Princess Butterknife. Well, that's fun. Actually, it just started raining here as well. Anyway, Kira, look after yourself. Be good. Do nice things. Please. So yes, unfortunately, the footpath up to the city that they want to get to, Lindblom, is shut at the moment. So they're going to go to a little border village because there's a little outpost here, which deals with airships and stuff like that. They're going to go to the village and see if they can find some way of getting to the castle like that. Not the castle, the city. It has a castle in it, I guess. Yeah. So they go to the inn. They have a bit of a sleep. Vivi snuggles up with a little Moogle doll and has a lovely nap. However, some of the inhabitants of the village, most of whom appear to be missing because it's mostly women and children, they take an interest in Vivi, baby Vivi. But it's fine. I'm sure nothing's going wrong. Vivi and Simeon have a little bit of a chat, immediately after which Vivi gets kidnapped. Turns out it wasn't fine. Oh yeah, this was the that was what that was. This layer's over here, apparently. What a layer. Body hurts and it's 33. Oh no! I have to do a bit of yard work cleanup because it looks like the trash guys made a little mess with a waste disposal bag. The bag fell apart. They took the bag itself and not the yard waste that was in it. Oh, great. But now inside and hydrating. Look after yourself. Rest up, please. After a while of chatting, James is nowhere to be seen. But he's perfectly capable of looking after himself. He's a knight with a big sword. But Vivi is also nowhere to be seen. And everyone's like, oh, where's Vivi gone? So they go back to the last place that Simeon saw him, and he is the quack of a Jacobo. Is that what I'm going to call it? Yeah, I'll go with Jacobo. Why not? Underground, which is a bit weird. And then they listen to the pipe and they can actually, oh no, they can hear sobbing as well. Oh, it's Vivi. Vivi's also trapped underground. What the hell's going on here? So they go underground. And they find a bunch of people yelling at Vivi, like, how did you get out? What are you doing? And Vivi's too scared to talk. So they go through here. Oh, yes. They notice that there's a seal on the barrels that Butterknife, Butterscotch remembers seeing at the castle. A chocolate bow, exactly. It's a choc oboe. Lovely chocolate oboe. Still love Princess Butterknife's Moogle Cloak hoodie. This is inconspicuous look. Yeah, so they go through and they find there's a whole complex under here, and there is indeed a Chocobo plodding around down here. There's a bunch of boxes and whatnot, and they find a box and they're like, oh god, Vivi's in the box, and they break him out. And it's like, are you okay? They put me in this box. And we're like, do you want to go back to the inn, or? And Vivi's like, no, I want to know what's going on here. I'm scared. A chocobo. There's not enough X's in that to make it French. It's cute and you want one too. I will make you one. Need to test that with Hazel. Well, Hazel's had a fantastic track record recently.
Chocobo.
Yeah, Chocobo. Yeah. Not all O's need an X. I think that's how you pluralize them, right? Maybe wrong. I don't know anything about French. Hey, Hazel's actually got something quite right, even though it was spelt weird. That sounds about right. Yeah, so as they're going through, they find this big old machine that is sucking mist from the mistlands outside, because mist creates... mist is the energy source of this place. They use it to power machines. It's also where monsters come from, so it's sort of a mystical... That's fine, and neither did the French. Hey, they have an academy built to make sure that the French language is unsullied, because it's perfect as it is, question mark. So yes, they find this machine that's sucking mist in from the air and creating these weird eggs. They go on a conveyor belt powered by a chocobo. And they carry on through, and they're like, oh, I wonder what this is, I wonder what this is. And they find out, oh no, these eggs are hatching into things that look very much like Vivi. And Vivi has a bit of a fright at this. And does not like what's going on here at all. There's no time to console Vivi, however, because a bunch of people are coming, so they gotta run and hide in these boxes. And then they get packed onto the conveyor belt. And that was the last we heard of them. They're stuck on a conveyor belt. Also, this stream should be part 6 because I'm good with numbers. Let me fix that. No, not Tumblr. Technical difficulties. Don't play the stream. Part 6. There we go. Now you can all stop panicking. Turns out the title of the stream is ironic because it didn't actually escalate. Right. Meanwhile, were we meant to be panicking? Yes! You're meant to be freaking out, waving your arms in the air like Kermit. Speaking of, see, now you got it. Now you're getting the hang of it. Good old James Will, some guy. Always be in a mood. So, turns out, James has been going around trying to work out ways to get back to Alexandria, not Lindblom. And he's been trying to ascertain if there's some sort of airship that's going to take them there or anything like that. Oh, hey, it's the village music. Nice. And he has been led to an old man who mans the lookout tower outside of the village. And he's having a lovely chat with him, as you can see. Because the man is being very forthcoming with information and not just constantly asking James if he wants coffee. Squat is doing a jump. Just an aerial squat. Both is good. E. Meanwhile, old moustache man is like, hey, do you want coffee? Coffee is very good this time of year. Do you want some coffee? Ah, you should stop getting so worked up. It's bad for your blood pressure. Anyway, eventually, he gets the information that he's after, which is that yes, there is a cargo ship that regularly goes from this village to Alexandria, to the castle. And James is like, brilliant, fantastic, when's it next here? And the guy says, it's already here. It's at the village. If you hurry up, you might catch it. I love this guy, he's a troll. Specifically to James, no one else. Please give you coffee. Oh no, this is fictional coffee. This is far too action-packed. Well, it's not far too action-packed because James is now running across fields, desperate to try and get back to the village in time. For this. He does have a nice little house, though. Fictional coffee sounds good. There's lots of different types of coffee in this game. I've never found them all. There's a little side quest you can do. There's so many little side quests like that in this game. Anywho, so yeah, James is like, thank you, and then runs away. And he sees that the airship. There is an airship, and it is landed in a field just outside the village, and so he sprints towards it as fast as his tiny little legs can carry him. It's very exciting music. Accentuated by the composer. Who is this guy? I'm going to reverse Google search this person, see who they are. Anyway, what am I talking about? Yes. So, he runs towards the thing, and he gets there, and he finds a bunch of people putting away barrels. And they're talking about how, like, oh, this is the only work around here that pays well, and all that sort of stuff. Etc., etc. And then they look off into the distance, and they see a guy in armor sprinting straight towards them. And they're like, nope! And they run away. So, you know, James has got that going for it. He's scary when he's running. There's that little symbol. Now, put yourself in James's shoes. You've just found this airship. You've just found that they're loading a bunch of cargo onto it. And as you approach, the people run away because you're belting towards them at the speed of light. You are now left in a field next to a big airship with a bunch of boxes and barrels at your disposal. You know that this place is going where you want to go. You know that everybody else is still in the village somewhere. What do you do? What is your first port of call?
My airship now.
James wouldn't do that. He's a law-abiding citizen. Wouldn't steal an airship. This perspective, or is James tiny compared to this barrel? It's a big barrel. I mean, if you think about what they're transporting in it, it's kind of got to be a big barrel, right? James is so little, yeah. Here's a blade of grass for reference. No. Anyway, the airship's like here. It's probably just a little ladder. Going up to a door, and there's some windows. Okay. I would like to augment my previous statement by reminding you that James is James and he has a sword. There you go. Stab. Buckaroo time. Not Buckaroo. What was the one? Something to do with pirates. Basically Buckaroo with pirates. I love that you just finished drawing that, James, and then immediately raised the arms. Yeah, because he's doing the stab. Ding, ding, ding! It's stab. And you know what happens when stab? That's right. Ouch, indeed. No, the barrel was talking and moving before he stabs it. Yeah, but still. Anyway, James is like, what on earth are you doing in there? And Simeon says, never mind what I'm doing there, you almost stabbed the princess. He's like, what? Get her out of there! And so they get everybody out of the box. What they have been packed into. I should have probably specified the scene where everybody's packing things away. There's like a big if you here's the airship, and here's the town over here with a little farm. There's like a big, like, bloody James Bond sort of bit of the ground that just opens up, and with sort of stairs going down, and all of the stuff sort of comes out of that. So that's how they're getting everything from underground back up, because they have just a big... What do you call that? I don't know what you call that. Hatch, I guess? I mean, the game implies that Simeon doesn't like getting stabbed in the butt, because that seems out of character. I mean, not by James. Well, not in this part of the story anyway. Who knows? Their relationship may blossom. Enemies to lovers. The himbo and the slut. I'm sure that's never been a dynamic explored before. Trapdoor. There we go. That's the thing. People know words. Yeah, the trapdoor. But instead of the trap looking like a floor, it looks like a field. So yeah, that's where they're getting all these barrels out of and all that sort of stuff. So everybody gets out of the barrel. I don't know why I drew this airship. It's just sort of in the way. Or storm cellar or something. Trapdoor makes sense. Big old hatch trapdoor thing. A wine cellar that's been repurposed as a factory. It was a massive wine cellar for a small village. Let's bring it forward. So yeah, they all get out and they all talk about how things are weird. This place is weird. Can we leave? I think Vivi wants to leave. Maybe they really like wine. Possible. Maybe they're one of those tiny little villages that are world renowned for their amazing wine. Bar baby. And then, teleporting across the horizon. And I mean teleporting, like shoop, shoop, shoop. Teleporting. Because, you know, magique. Just one of the little holes. It does now. Probably looks better than that. A really tall person. I think they have wings. I think the first one had wings as well. I just forgot to draw them because they don't fly. Spoilers. Spoilers. This is the second one. Did I have a stick? Staff? What's their catalyst for spells? I don't know. Well, they're in a farm, so pitchfork. Magical pitchfork. Made of a stick with a single leaf. You're welcome. So yeah, this one turns up and is like, "Hi, I'm here for the princess." And your character's like, "Nope, that ain't happening, you weird floating thing." They're like, "Well, you bested the one before me, but you weren't best Black Waltz 2. Number 2. I'm Black Waltz number 2. That was Black Waltz number 1 before. I'm Black Waltz number 2. I'm superior. Hurrah! I'm gonna beat you. Not you, princess. I'm taking you back alive. But I will kill the rest of you." So this is fun. And Simeon's like, "Not this thing again." And everyone's like, "What do you mean again?" Because they were all asleep the first time round. He's like, "Well, we fought one of these in the caverns while you were asleep." You didn't tell us? Didn't want to worry you. Well, it's silly, it called itself number 1. Of course there's going to be more. You fool! So anyway, you fight this one, and you win. Because this is a game. You game over if you don't, and you try again. So canonically, you win. But this one sort of teleports around and zips about. I'm sure it has horns. These look cooler than I'm drawing them. I always liked these when I was a kid. Anyway, yeah. This is Black Waltz number 2. I can't remember what we were going to call them. What were we going to call them? We suggested there was Cuthbert for the first one, but we did actually have some more names. So I want to draw a better hornsman. Mr. Pretzel. AKA Mr. Pretzel. Sorted. Anyway, you kill them. Or you defeat them. And you have a little discussion. Like I say, you have a little discussion. Simeon's like, "Yeah, we fought one of these. Well, I fought one of these while you were all asleep in the cave." Which immediately makes James suspicious, as like, "You've been hiding things from the princess. How dare you?" I was like, "Relax. I sorted that out. It's fine." And then they're like, "Right, cool. This airship, where's it going?" And James goes, it's going to Lindblom. Yes, definitely Lindblom. Absolutely. We should get on there right now." And everyone's like, "Sure, why not?" And then it starts taking off. Not suspicious at all. No, I think James runs on there. Yeah, no, James runs on there. He's like, "I will go and tell the driver that we are going to go to Lindblom." "Ah, yes, well, let's do that." And everyone else is sort of collecting their wits. And then it starts taking off, and they're like, "Crap, better get on." So they jump on. And they get in. There's an altercation when climbing the ladder of Simeon accidentally groping butter knife as he's climbing up the ladder. He does claim it's an accident, but I don't believe him. He was in a rush. He was ahead on the ladder. He's got a very big hand. Sigh. That was the previous game. Anyway, they get on, and they have a little discussion outside. Vivi goes in. The two of them have a discussion outside of like, you shouldn't do that. And then they hear bad noises inside. And they go in. How many sentences do I start and not finish during these draw-throughs? That's a question. Because there's only so quickly I can draw. Suspense is difficult to do, you know. At least one more. Simon lives in us all, making really stupid decisions for us. So yeah, and they get into the airship, and they discover that it is entirely crewed by these mages, who we just saw being made. Well, we didn't see those ones being made because they're in crates, but you get the idea. And Vivi's running around going like, "Hey, hello, hello, hello. What is? Hello, I am Vivi. What is happening?" And none of them are saying anything. And Vivi's very upset that they're not talking to her. Sweet child is like, "Hello, can we be friends? My name's Vivi. What's your name?" Nothing. No response. Put that over here. So Butterknife stays behind and tries to help Vivi come to terms with the fact that these things are now alive. They're not just massive stuffed dolls, they are actually living things. And they're not talking to him. But Simeon goes up onto the bridge to see how James is doing. James isn't doing great because he thinks that the ship took off without them. But that's alright, Simeon's popped up to say, what are you talking about, you bloody idiot? Being melodramatic, crying on the floor because the princess isn't on board. She's downstairs. Or below decks, or whatever. And he's like, is she? Fantastic. Now I can reveal my ruse. This ship isn't going to Lindblom after all. It's going to Alexandria, you fool. We will go to Alexandria and you will be arrested for high treason. And the princess will be safe and sound in the castle. And then he blocks the exit so that you can't get back down. Because he's also a child. Freya's not here yet, there are no adults supervising them. Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of adult supervision, hi miss. Vivi is a child, affectionate, and James Will is a child, derogatory. Saima Athathu. I'm doing great, thank Thathu. Thank Thu.
Siama or Tha Thu.
Siama a Tha Thu. God, I love learning new languages. It's great. Math Fane. Good job.
Math fine.
Sorry, math fine. Math fine. How about? Oh, Simeon, how does your hair work? Don't know. How is everybody? We all good. Love Hazel to teach us Gaelic or any language. How goes the final of the fantasies? Great. Vivi's had another existential breakdown. And we're on an airship. And we found and beat another Black Waltz. I.e. that thing what was in a cave that made everyone go to sleep. Isn't Vivi a child? Yes. Vivi is a child who recently stumbled upon, who discovered that their nice day out to the theatre was ruined because they had a counterfeit ticket, then cramped into the place anyway, and then got chased by guards, and then got stuck on a ship when it exploded, fell into a horrible evil forest full of monsters that poisoned him. And then he saw somebody get turned to stone, and then he fell asleep in a very cold place, and then he came back into a village and then got kidnapped and shoved into a box, and then taken out of the box, and then discovered a production line producing things that look very much like him. And he's now gotten onto a ship, and he's discovered that those things are actually moving around and doing things, which is not great. Funny, you've beaten 2 of them, but there hasn't been any explanation of what they even are yet. Exactly. Well, they hate for the princess, we know that. Love that this game follows Vivi's story. Exactly, he's the main character. But like beating up one of the 4 fiends in FF1 before you even know they exist yet. That's kind of fun. I like the idea of beating this just random boss, and then you come across the second one. He's like, "Aha! You've beaten another one of one of the 4 fiends before." He's like, "Have I? Did I? Well, that's who they were." And then the fiend's like, "What? You didn't know?" Oh yeah, and they're completely ignoring everyone. Vivi's trying to say hello, and they're not responding. Meanwhile, Simeon has just hijacked the ship because James had a plan. Because it's actually going to Alexandria, not Lindblom, and he tricked them all getting on this ship. And Simeon's like, "Fine, I'll just take control of it then." Anyway, how have your days been? Oh, also thank you all for saying goodnight and all that last night. Sorry about the power cut, but yeah, I appreciate the nice messages. Not as productive as you would have liked, but you're going to try to work after dinner. Yeah, same here. Well, I'm not working after dinner, I'm streaming. Which is basically procrastinating on work. But hey, I can work during Chibi Nether's Day tomorrow. Oh god, it's almost halfway through the stream already. Funny. And what have we done? We drank coffee, that's it. Did draw a new you though. Yeah, it's very good. Dude works in an airship, he probably does know how to steer one at least. Don't know how James expected this to go. Yeah, James... Expecting James to put in, like, more than one step of thought. Probably a bad assumption. Unproductive. Gonna try and make up for it though. Oh no! It's been a very unproductive day all around, I think. I've been unproductive and shouldn't be. No, you should be. We're all unproductive today. Nobody has any compulsion to be productive because we're all unproductive. Tomorrow though, yeah, we're going at it, fighting fit. Who is this man? No production today, exactly. Well, to be fair, I have an excuse. I had a phone call today, so cannot do anything in a day you have a phone call. It was a good phone call. The doctor said I didn't need surgery. Hooray! Only production today was talking. Talking commissions with Duck and making pancakes for dinner. Yeah, I made 1/3 of a commission for Duck. I was rather hoping to get at least 2/3 done. That's where you get to deal with the 2-year-old in a pool. Yay! Fun times. Anyway, while Simeon is doing his level best to give James a heart attack or some sort of coronary issue, a bunch of the crew all gather round the cockpit, as if to say, like, what's going on? James is like, oh god, you've made them mad now. Meanwhile, there's a 2-year-old that likes water. This is a good and bad thing. I guess that's better than a 2-year-old that hates water. I always used to really like water, and then at some point I just really very much disliked putting my head underneath it. And that's never changed. Meanwhile, on the front of the ship, it's got big barrels like strapped to the sides, presumably full of these manufactured mages. Vivi's come up. In fact, I think everyone's come up. Vivi's just like, oh. This has not been a very good day. They're not talking to me. I wanted to make friends. I wanted to understand what the hell's going on. The fact that they've been manufactured is just generally having a bad time. This music's too chipper for this scene. Come on, game, have some taste. Perspectives here's a bit off. Poor Vivi having a bad day. And then we get a visitor. Guess who it is? Ronnie? What? Yeah, it's Ronnie! Did I not mention that Elden Ring is a tie-in to Final Fantasy IX? Both the name be Ronnie. Is it the glam kitchen lady? Yeah, her name's Ronnie, right? Big black crow wings. It's Black Waltz 3! Because of course there needs to be 3. In fact, I believe a comment is made at this point by Simeon. Oh wait, no, hang on. I think James says, "Oh god, how many of these bloody things are there?" And Simeon goes, "This is probably the last one." And James is like, "What? Are you in league with them? How do you know this?" And Simeon's like, "They're called waltzes. It's probably gonna be 3. And give you very big. Big sleeves. What's their magic catalyst? Magic catalyst. I like the design of this one. Yeah, this one looks the coolest. Which is why I'm worried about trying to make them look as cool as they are in the game. I remember a very big feathery collar. Probably a big belt. It's usually the case. What if it's glam kitchen? Like a big spoon? Honestly, not far off the designs for weapons in this game, because butter knife, ironically, does actually use a big spoon. Now that I think about it. I mean, it's called a racket, but it's just a big spoon. And then we'll meet a character later who uses a fork. I was about to mention the forks, yeah. So yeah, Sad Vivi is now confronted with yet another one of these bloody things. He's like, "Aha, I'm Black Waltz 3. I'm here to take the princess." He's like, "I would kill anyone that doesn't get in my way." No, that does get in my way. It's very important that you get that the right way around. Hey, everybody, get in the way, or I'll kill you. Terrible plan. Mind that this is an airship. I think it has a big balloon, right? Yeah, sure. So the dirigible. Does this one have horns as well? I can't remember. I'm gonna give it horns. Feels like it should, right? Kind of antler sort of things going on here. Sure. So yeah, and he threatens Vives. Good old Vivus. And that ain't the thing you do. Don't threaten Vivus. Make sure it's glam. Glam! So that's what glam looks like, right? I know glam. I'm a glam man. Absolutely, definitely. Don't. You can't prove anything. Also, I just realised that they're now playing something. Get rid of that. You know who made this. It was this guy. So, what happens now after you threaten Vivus? Is the crew of the ship come along to see what's going on? Threaten Vivus, you get instantly shot by a gun. So yeah, all of the crew come along to investigate and see what's going on, and they're like, no. So while they don't talk or anything like that, they know you don't threaten the Vivus. So they just sort of get in the way. The disadvantage of getting in the way is that this guy's got a very hot spoon. That's not what I expected to see. It's all of the crew who up until now have been silent, but are now like, well, they are still silent. They're not saying anything, but Vivus is being threatened, and they're not having that. Yeah, but Hot Spoon Man, or creature, isn't having that. So, what he does, right? Simple solution here. Actually, he doesn't have a hot spoon. What am I talking about? I'm a fool. I'm a fool for thinking he has a hot spoon. Absolute nonsense. He has a giant electrical spoon. Which is very easy to draw. This is electricity, right? Hang on. I got this. I got this. Yeah, it looks a bit better. So what he does is something. Which I now have to draw. Take some liberties. This is a silly idea. There's an easy way to do that. Boom. Anyway, while I draw this, what's everybody got planned for the week? Anything fun, apart from being more productive? Subject to the limitations of the world throws at you. Should really have done this on a different layer. It's fine. Did the music end? The music ended. More music! From this guy. Apart from being productive, you also decided it's been too long since you did a proper pin-up. So you took God of War Hermes out of the closet again. Hee hee. Good G pin-ups. Exciting times. I don't know how to draw explosions. Anyway, long story short. The end. Hope you enjoyed the draw-through. No. Long story short, he just kills them all. Just zaps them off the ship. They go flying. Barrels of them spilling off the side of the ship. Just hats floating through the air. And Vivi, perhaps unsurprisingly, not taking this well. In fact, this may be one of the most iconic images in the game. Is Vivi's face as this happens, which it doesn't show much emotion because it's Vivi, but because again, this game is about Vivi. Give Vivi a gun. In fact, actually, that's against protocol generally. But if I just Google the word Vivi, well, I'm Google Vivi for Final Fantasy IX. Probably should specify. Look at him. He's just watching all these explosions and all these friends just dying, exploding. I mean, they haven't spoken to him, but they did try and stand up and defend him. And there's another image from this scene, which I'm going to use as reference, because why not? Which is the aftermath of this. In fact, actually, let's get rid of it and see how I'm trying to... Slightly lumpy looking Vivi, but honestly, this whole part will always stand out in your mind when you think about this game. This is like, if there's one thing I would change about Final Fantasy IX, and there are many, but there's the one thing I'd change about Final Fantasy IX is that this whole arc would be much more developed and spread out through the entire game. This all happens way too quickly. Like, it does kind of get developed later, but the game's about Vivi, as far as I'm concerned. Feels like it should be a mid-game scene, not this one. Yeah, no. Don't know what the rest of the game holds, but you agree. It feels like it should be happening way later. Yeah, like this whole Vivi story in the first 5 hours of this game could be an entire game. Anyway, Vivi's not taking this well. This is beautiful. Well, I'm kind of using reference. I wasn't looking at it while I was doing it, which is why it's all wrong. But close enough. Get the idea. This is the other iconic image of this game. Well, not this, but the one I showed you. So yeah, and naturally what follows is a fight with Black Waltz 3. It is Black Waltz 3, unsurprisingly. One thing probably to bear in mind here is, do you remember Trance? Trance is the thing. It happened once in the forest. When the princess was in danger, and Simeon's like, "Oh god, the princess is in danger," and he transformed into a pink monkey. Because of heightened emotion. Yeah, Vivi has that here. Vivi turns into a smart-looking pointy pink friend. He gets cool clothes, and I can't remember what any of them look like. Yeah, during this fight, he can use double magic, because he's very upset at what's happening. Can't remember what you look like, so I'm just gonna do this. Now you get pointy shoes. Honestly, you've not been paying attention to anything Simeon does. That's fair. And I'll be honest, it's gonna be a long time before you have to. Him's got him stick. So yeah, you fight the Black Waltz 3. And you didn't defeat it this time. It just sort of flies off. Retreats, as it were. He's wearing clogs. When Vivi gets mad, he puts on his angry clogs. Clogs of war. Anyway, that was just an aside. That's not the image you should remember. You should remember that. And also that. Vivi's no good, very bad day just got it worse again. Will it ever get better? So yeah, the thing flies off. The clogs make him taller. Yeah. Stilt clogs. Yeah, and it flies off to a ship that's following our ship. And in the ship, in the cockpit of said ship, are a couple of jesters. I could never get away from jesters. And they're like, "Oh no! The Black Waltzes did not do their thing. Ah, but it is not defeated. Fortunately, it's coming this way. Hooray! Coming this way it is, fortunately. Hooray-hoo. That is until they realize that it is coming this way, and is coming this way with madness in its eyes. It's going a bit loopy now. And the response of our jester friends, whose names I've forgotten. They had fun names, can't remember what they were. Phineas and Ferb, what were they? Frick and Frack, that's the ones, yeah. And the response for Frick and Frack of this slightly disturbing image of this maniacal, laughing, screaming thing coming towards them is to just jump out of the ship. Bye. At which point the Black Waltz commandeers it and drives straight towards our airship. I think just saying the word kill. I think that's what happens. So it's having a time. What ensues is a very exciting airship chase, which I can't possibly recreate. So what I'll do instead is reenact it with little pictures, Terry Gilliam style. So here's our airship, and here's the fancy, fast, sleek airship, which I think has wings. Which is now being driven by Hatman. Black Waltz 3. Glam Kitchen. It's a lot smaller, but it's a lot faster. And so we're sort of flying through the air, trying to get away from this thing, and Simeon's on the wheel now and spinning things around and doing maneuvers, but this thing's trying to catch up with us, and Simeon's like, whoa, it's catching up and whizzing past us and going around and all that sort of stuff. And eventually we get to the North Gate? South Gate. The North/South Gate. The Snooth Gate. Which is a big hole in the mountain. And we pass through into the Snooth Gate as it's closing. Because it's like, these people don't have permission to enter and they're chasing each other, so we're just going to close the doors. But we managed to get in just beforehand. This is thoroughly unnecessary, but I'm going to do it. We manage to fly in just beforehand. Always like that. But there's like a big middle bit. And we're sort of in the interim of it. So we managed to get into the entrance, but we now need to get out of the exit. The Snoot Gate? Whoop the Snoot. Unfortunately, the gates were closing at the same time, which means that while we managed to get into the first gate pretty easily, second gate, bit of an issue. Because it's closing even more. So we're getting an exciting action chase, and we managed to get through! Hooray! Just in time. However, Kerblooey. Old Waltzy number 3 crashes into the thing and explodes. And our airship glides off limply in the direction of Lindblom, which is a massive city, which I cannot even begin to draw. So I'm just going to draw lots of bits and bobs and then put like a cliff here for reference. Got a big wall around it, which sort of goes down, and then there's buildings on the cliff. It's a huge, it's very Ghibli looking, is Lindblom. There's straight lines in this place. There's a giant palace in the middle, which is this thing. The big clock. And also lots of holes in which airships can come in and out. Because there's also an airport. F. Rip. So yeah, we make our way to little Lindblom. Which I'm assuming is how you pronounce that. Lindblom. Lindblom. They make chocolate there. Yee! We have successfully fended off 3 would-be kidnappers in the form of the Black Waltzes. Yeah, and Kiro has put in the Patreon Discord a vidya of what just happened in slightly better cinematics than I was capable. Only slightly. Just a tad, just a smidge. We, the OG kidnappers, have managed to fend off the kidnappers. Exactly. Ours was consensual kidnapping, it's fine. Consensual kidnapping, if you ignore James. Where's that meme of like the like consensual sex is a myth because did you ask God? Can we do that with James? Consensual kidnapping's a myth. Did you ask James? If you don't know that meme, it's probably really a strange idea, but it is actually a strange idea. Anyway, Libblum. We're arriving in Libblum. And we get there and we fly into the palace's airport situation. And we get off the ship, all scuffed and such. Once again, I'm going to draw all 4 characters in a line, because that's just the draw-through, I guess. If God doesn't want to get involved, they can just leave, exactly. If James doesn't want to get involved, he can just leave. But no, he's got to stick around. Now, our time in Lindblom is mostly cutscenes, so I'm not going to draw absolutely everything that happens, but the general gist of it I will. There's a dog being upset over the street. Ruff, 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 ruff. Anyway, we arrive, and a bunch of guards come up to us and go, "Who are you? Why are you parking in the palace in this crappy cargo ship? What's going on?" And Butterknife steps forward and goes, "Hi, I'm the princess from Alexandria. Can I see the king?" And they go, "No." You're not the princess. What are you talking about? Princess wouldn't arrive on a crappy cargo airship. What's going on? And James gets very upset at the idea that the princess would lie. He's like, "How dare you speak to the princess like that? Look at her, she's the princess." Be her the Princess Zerolda or Princess Butterknife. Not princess, but princess. Luckily, she has... I don't need to draw the other two characters for this. They'll be arriving in plenty of other scenes. She has a pendant that she wears. The Falcon's Claw pendant? Probably got a gem in the Falcon Claw wrapping around it. I had to hazard a guess. She's like, "Hey, look, it's my pendant." See, told you. And they're like, "Oh, bloody hell, better, we're just soldiers, we don't know what's going on here. We better call, some guy." What is he in relation to is he like just like the Chamberlain or something? Artenia? I don't know what his name is. I think he has a moustache. Basically sort of like, you know, second hand to the king pops down, as second hands to the king do when strangers arrive at a palace. He's like, "Oh, princess, how good of you to come. Please, this way to the king at once." This is all I'm going to draw of this character, because they don't really deserve to be in the draw-through. You can name them if you like. This is all they get. He's basically, like I say, second hand to the king. There's a reason in the story why the king needs a second hand in the plot. But generally speaking, for our purposes, probably won't deal much with him. So if you want to give him a name, you can, but there he is. Sir Hatstand. Sir Strawman Hatstand. Ironically, doesn't have a hat. Anyway, so we gain entrance and we go and see the king. And we go to the throne room. Haha! Straight away. No mucking around. I am going to have to remember the sequence of events that happens here, because it's basically one long cutscene, this part. But it's like split up into lots and lots and lots and lots of little bits, all happening in different orders. Whatever. That's because you need to put the hats on him. Oh, that makes sense. You don't buy a hat stand and it comes with a hat. That would be ridiculous. So look, if you for help your memory of this is a bit fuzzy. It's fine. We'll get all the information, just not necessarily in the right order. As is the way with draw-throughs. Sorry. No, don't. No. Nothing. None of these sorries. I'm the idiot who decides to do this. Nobody else's responsibility. Anyway, there's a throne. And it's on like a pedestal thing. Looks like a cake. Sorry for what you did. That took you way to what? Who? What? No, I said no sorries. I'm very pleased with the faces you chose. You definitely don't get to say sorry for this. This is great. The gimmick for this draw through is that she accompanies everything with memes, and I'm here for that. This is the best. Thank you. She'd be do good. She'd do much good. Oops. Go away, you. Gonna mess with my audio, honestly. Accidentally opening things. Right, so we go into the throne room. And the princess goes in. And no one's there. I was like, oh. Bit strange. Like, an empty throne room. We were told we were going to come see the king. What's going on here? Right, now, do you remember earlier in the story what the plan was to kidnap the princess? Or what part of the plan was? I was reminded recently that there was another part of the plan that I didn't mention, but we can mention it later, it's fine. The plan was to distract everybody at the castle by sending out a bunch of little insects called oglops. I believe, or did we change their name? Hang on. We may have changed their name because, you know, it's us. Remember March had a bunch of oglops in his trousers? Yes, oglop. There is an oglop. Little, they're massive compared to people. They're quite big. They fit in the hand comfortably, but they're, you know, they're critters. And they hop around and make squishy noises. And they freak people out. Okay, so we go into this throne room, and one of those hops out from behind the throne. general consensus is that most people don't like oglobs. Exactly. Butterscotch is fine with them though, so yeah, exactly. In fact, I believe there's a point. Oh yeah, I think there was a point in the village where, she like pretends to be scared of oglops in order to fit in. There's loads of little tiny cutscenes in this game because they have this system where you can see what characters are doing when they're not in your party. It's a good system. It's really good when you're playing, but for the purposes of a draw-through, it's a bloody nightmare. So anyway, yes. Slip slop, splish splash, squish squash, blip, 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 blip. This thing hops out. James walks in and goes, "Oh, bloody hell! There's an oglop!" And then just like punts it across the room. And he berates Mr. Hatstand, saying, "How dare you! What is this, some kind of horrible trick to making the princess walk into a room filled with horrible insects instead of taking her straight to the king? I will report you to the Queen of Alexandria, Queen Helga, and you will be punished for this." Krthwum. Kasmack Kathunk. At this point, Hatstand walks in and points out that that's the king. So the first thing James does when he arrives in this other city is kick the king against the wall. What then follows is a long conversation of exposition as to things that are happening. Things that are happening. Well, explanation as to why the king is an insect. So the explanation is, does that happen here? Yeah, sure. He explains, apologies for my appearance of being an insect, blip, 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 making all sorts of insecty noises. But he was, somebody broke into the palace one night, poisoned him, turned him into an insect, kidnapped his wife, Hildegard, no, well, whatever you want to call, whatever you want to call his wife. Actually, we should probably explain who this is. This is King Fly. So no, that's a name we don't have to choose. This is Fly. He's an insect. He's been poisoned to become an insect. You know, a curse, basically. There's a curse on him. Is Fly F? He certainly flew through the air. So yeah, somebody broke into the palace, cursed him to become an Oglop, kidnapped his wife, and went off with his prototype airship, named after his wife, funnily enough. I feel like Fly's had it rough since Final Fantasy VII. Yeah. Fly has a whole new meaning here. Yeah, exactly. His name's Fly. This is the consistency in these games. This character's always called Fly. So for reference, Bear, or indeed anybody watching this who was not familiar with the Final Fantasy Drawthroughs, there is a recurring name in the Final Fantasy series. There's always a character called Cid. And in our first Drawthrough of the Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy VII, we called Cid Fly Jesse because he had an airship. And so we've just decided to keep the name. And indeed, like I say, he has airships. He designs airships, in fact, in this game. It was his prototype airship that got stolen during that break-in at the night. Unfortunately, he's not, as an insect, quite difficult to concentrate enough to design another airship. So they're trying to make a new one. But it's quite difficult when you have a brain of an insect. Tis a lucky name? Sometimes. I mean, this guy clearly hasn't had it lucky. Got turned into an insect. But yes, so that's the first thing we learn, is that he's been turned into an insect, and that's not good. That's not normal. He's supposed to be human. In fact, the princess refers to him as uncle, because all royal lineages are related, because, you know, this is based on European royalty. Big old incestuous pile. Forgot to mention it earlier when talking about him, but he's an engineer in Final Fantasy 16 too, so that's still a thing. Nice. Yeah, Fly is Butterknife's uncle. Fly is Butterknife's uncle. That's one of those sentences that just makes your brain reevaluate life. So he explains that. He also explains that the princess was like, I hope you don't mind me coming. I wasn't really expecting people to come and try and kidnap me, but hey, I got here in the end. At which point Fly says, oh yeah, about that. I was the one who hired them to kidnap you. Really getting quite worried about what's going on in Alexandria. The Queen's been acting very strange ever since your father died, and she's been on her own. We thought it's best to have you come here and be safe, and we just, yeah, we're worried. Basically. So it was the king who organized the kidnapping. It was you know, and you know, best keep it hush hush, because if anybody finds out that Lindblom ordered the kidnapping of a royal from another place, that probably means war, right? Probably not a great idea. We don't want that to happen. So yeah, they had to do it secretly, so they hired Tantalus, the theatre troupe, to do the kidnapping. And make it look like sort of, you know, incidental sort of thing. That can't just send soldiers in and have it happen. Yeah. So, believe it or not, Simeon working for the king this whole time. I don't know if Simeon knew that, but he was. Exactly, that's why Tantalus went to kidnap her, was to bring her back here so that the king could make sure that she's safe. Because summits up with the queen. Fancy, yes. Yeah, and at this point, people sort of go their separate ways, I guess. Like, Simeon gets thanks from the king, but ultimately it's sort of just, his job's done now, so he just wanders off into Lindblom. Vivi's like, also wanders off and looks around and has a fun time looking at things and saying hello to people. And James and the princess stay in the castle and discuss political situations and seeing what's going on with an insect. And with that, piece of music starts. Yeah, with that, that's the end of this stream. Yeah, we got to Lindblom. Hooray! New location. It's a big old city. Lots of bits and bobs happen here. I don't know how many of them are important. I've probably forgotten quite a lot of them, but we'll try. We'll see how we go. Thanks for the good stream. Thank you for being here and chatting and coming up with silly jokes and making good memes. Yay for a new location. Hurrah! And politics. Everyone looking forward to politics? There's not much politics. It's fine. Basically shenanigans. Queen be doing weird thing. It was good gun. Give Vivi a gun. Sorry you missed so much of it. No, no sorries. You enjoy as much as you want to and ignore the rest. But if you didn't want to ignore the rest, then there's always a VOD. And also always next week. Yee. So, I'll be back tomorrow morning, probably, to do some doodles. Give me some shapes, and we're going to doodle some more things with those shapes. There could be anything relatively simple. You know, don't give me a cock snowflake or something. But yeah, we're going to do some little doodling things in the morning, and then this be Chibi Nethers Day. Why not? Because it limits my creative possibilities. Do you know how long it took you to draw? An infinite amount of time, presumably. Chibi Nethers Day! Boom! More casino shenanigans. The heist begins. Yee. And then we'll be back on Saturday, not with Solasta as it says there, because Kiro is otherwise out of town. Dark has bought a little pack of Worms games, so if anybody wants one of those, we can play those on the stream. Yeah. As a thing to do, we want to be worming. I don't know how Worms goes. I don't know if it's as long as... Do we do more than one game in a stream? Is it one really long game? I don't know how Worms work. Sorry, you got Meat Space things to do. No apologies. Life is life. And maybe Meat Space things would be more fun. I don't know. So yeah, Celeste is on pause for a little bit. And then we'll be back Sunday with some doodles. Saturday morning as well is music time. Yeah. And such. I did have an idea for a Sunday stream. People seem keen on the idea, which is a knockoff by proxy. This is an idea I had bloody ages ago and just never got around to it. Which is that we describe a character to somebody who has to draw it from the description, and the description has to be accurate, but you have to do it in such a way that the person doesn't actually work out who you're talking about. So it's a fun little challenge, hopefully. It's a fun little challenge. Never done it before. It's just an idea I had. I told you about it. Love the idea. Yee. Hopefully it'll be fun. So come up with some ideas of characters you think you can describe without giving it away. It doesn't matter if they work it out. It's just part of the fun. But yay. Ooh, random shape generator. Random shape. This website uses cookies. They all do. Ooh, swooshy. Lots of wibbly wobbly ones. And they're just regular polygons. Yeah, we can grab one of those for the thing. Yeah. What was I saying? I was saying something before that. Anyway, we'll have a go at that on Sunday if people are up for it. So think of characters you think you can describe without giving it away, but it's fine if people work it out. It's just part of the fun. Yeah. And we'll do things. Theoretically. Keep seeing these weird faces of people who aren't me cropping up on my music. Hold on! I'm holding on. Hope you have a good night and rest of the week and so on. Not yet! We must hold on. Ooh. Thank you. Stick that. Oh, I need to see the music. More memes. Good memes. Fly is butter knife's uncle. Yeah, thank you very much. I like this edition. It's a fun time. Yee. Thank you. Thanks. A perfect note to end on.